Hey there, this is Mark. In this video, we'll take a look at the gradient node mat. First, I'm going to start with my scene and unhook this prior modification I had done to cut away the bush. And I'm going to move my character to the center so that we can see it front and center. Next, I'll add a cutter to my character because I want to cut with a gradient node. And I'll grab the gradient node, which is available in your favorites by default, and drag that in. In order to see what a gradient node is, I'll plug it to my composite. So basically, a gradient is the difference between two colors and the range between them. And if I want to see how to control this, I can hit the Show Controls button in my camera view. If you don't have these buttons, you can right-click in an open space up here and go down to Camera View to make sure that it's checked on. So with the gradient node selected, I'll hit the Show Control button, and I'll select my Transform tool. Just make sure that your Animate button is turned off, as we don't want to set keyframes. So I can then grab these points and rotate and scale the gradient that I have to determine what kind of range I want. And what we're trying to do here is we're going to use this shape to say wherever the white pixels are will cut away, and wherever the black pixels are will remain transparent, so they won't affect the image. I'm going to turn off my controls by hitting the Hide Controls button in the camera view, and I'll disconnect my gradient. Now if I connect my gradient directly to the matte port, my character will disappear, and I won't be able to see it in the render view at all. What we need to do is tell the gradient that we want to transform the black and white information into transparent values and opaque values. The gradient, even though it's black and white, is a fully opaque image. So we're going to use a node that's called grayscale. Type in gray in the search bar in the node library and drag the grayscale node inside the node view. We're going to attach the grayscale to the gradient. And if we click the properties here, we can see that there's an option for a matte output. If this is not checked on, the gradient simply becomes gray values, which is already what we have given we didn't do a color gradient. However, if we click the matte output, what that does is it creates a transparent area where the black pixels were and an opaque area where the white pixels were. To show this, I can simply wire this down to our composite. Now if we hit our render view, we'll see that the gradient is white at the bottom, going to transparent. And if we click and drag from our grayscale into our matte port instead, now half of our character is faded off from the gradient. Now we're getting these semi-transparencies because the bottom composite of our character is set to pass through. This allows us to see every piece getting cut by the gradient. Now to fix this, we simply have to add a new bitmap comp. That's Control-H on a PC or Command-H on a Mac. And I'll drag this here and like so. So this bitmap composite essentially flattens our character and allows one single image to be cut instead of each individual piece. If you'd like, you can also use the animated matte, which is a new feature in Harmony 15. Simply type in animated matte, there's the node. And this node is explained in a different set of videos, but the concept can be used to fade off your matte to create gradients, to affect or cut away parts of a character, prop, or background.